I think.
And you did pronounce one of them well.
Action!
Great, I'm Jenna.
I'm Jeanne.
This was School of Hard Knocks, and we did kind of our LA style inspired class where we did some stuff based off of Dean, some Jewel, some Jeanne, some Irene, some Jack Kerry.
Variation stolen from Maxi doing Lindy Hop 2.
Maxi variation, so a lot of different old timers, which means it actually was a lot of different styles, but kind of some general ideas that overall more or less encompass most of the LA Lindy Hop style stuff.
They certainly all come from LA.
So we started off with just our basic 6 count, where we started off with the triple.
Shoot the top, shoot the top.
We talked about having our feet a little bit in front of us and our torsos sitting back a little bit. We also had this flow of this out and in with our basic.
Yeah. So leaders, that goes in, out and in, out and in, out and in, out and in.
If you're getting that nice out and in feeling on the leaders kickball change, followers, you can add yours. And it ends up being a little bit more of in the round shape. Then we went into our send out, which instead of sending that way.
Shoot the top, 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 shoot the top.
From there, we talked about followers when we do the send out. We don't want to go too far away from our leaders, so once we hit this point, which looks like this, from there, I don't want to move any further away from my elbow, so I can make sure I keep the hand down, and then I open up from there, and then we added in the kind of stepping our feet back forward once we've stepped out.
Yeah, we talked about, we try not to pull our arms into us, but rather we keep ourselves close to our arms. That may not sink in for a while, but it changed the way I understand it. So I hope it does for you.
We did do a little exercise where we just kind of stood in our neutral, brought our feet forward, and then let ourselves sit back a little bit to have this feeling of the feet in front.
Leaders, we talked about how our chest is a little bit more up than we're used to rather than kind of bringing it down. I bend my knees and pull my hips away, and if Jenna asks for more counterbalance, I go with the hips and keep my chest up rather than this way.
Cool, that was weird.
That does feel weird.
From there we went into sugar pushes. So we talked about for John and I, his hands go a little bit further back than most of the LA dancers. We also talked about for their versions, it was definitely a away, away, in, away, away, away. There's a lot of time away.
1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Leaders, typically, we have a little bit of movement in our sugar push. If we're going for old Dean Collins sugar pushes, we anchor down and we let our partners do the movement. Lots of clicking.
Woo, camera. From there we went into our variations.
Lunge.
We went Irene. This was very much
Irene Thomas.
I go for it and hope for the best. So we had a basic, triple, triple, step, step, in, shoot, da, do, ba, da, da, shoot, ba, ooh, da, da. I rotate because I don't want to do this to my leader. So as I look to the right, it takes my shoulders with me.
Leaders, I try and live in this position, so that my arms are out here, and this is a nice stable thing for Jenna to bring in. I brace against it, and then as I feel Jenna do a push-up, I help that movement.
The right leg comes forward as a safety method, but it really is just this. It's just this is kind of a just in case, but I'm not using it to support myself.
Footwork for leaders, I brace until I feel free, and then usually I end up with just a stomp off rock step.
Leaders variation?
Leaders variation.
This is our Maxi.
We focus the Maxi one, which goes step, step, triple step, hoo-da, ya-ga-da, shoot-ba-da, sha-da, ya-ga-da. We talked about how it's more of a pendulum than a push forward. With Jeanne, shoot-ba, shoot-da, shoot-da, shoot-ba, shoot-da, shoot-da, ya-ga-da, shoot-ba-da, sha-da, ya-ga-da, shoot-ba-da, sha-da, ya-ga-da.
Then we did Jeannie's variation, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, butt pop, which means from there we go into triple step, triple step. I recommended mixing basics instead of doing them right in a row. Shoot, ba, shoot, ah, shoot, ah. We also talked about making sure the butt pop is boop and actually has some like sass to it versus just kind of. The other thing I'll note that we didn't say is try not to take it to a toes up butt pop. It was actually still heels down, more of the like butt out idea. Think Tabby the cat feeling versus like Charleston heels feeling. So we'll show a couple of those.
Leader's bonus one comes from Jack Kerry. He would often do this in swing outs, but I saw it in one sugar push, so I decided it was cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God, I have to do it with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap, ball change, 3, 4, step. Tap, ball change, triple step. That should be enough for you, leaders. Make it work.
Thank you.
Old LA stuff.